Hello, welcome to learning to build applications on servers we're going to be using Cloud9 for doing this webinar. I'm going to ask the moderator something. Tyler, how do I know, are people...
If there's any questions, I'll let you know.
Oh, are there people in the queue or people watching?
Live, so.
Okay. All of you watching should go to account.srnd.org and click on this link down here. So let me zoom in some more. So on account.srnd.org or s5.srnd.org, there's a free Cloud9 account. Click that and you'll sign in with your SRND account credentials and you will be given a Cloud9 account. And so Cloud9 is a development environment in the cloud kind of thing where you can do, you create workspaces, which are, like you see down here, HTML5, Node, Python, Django, Ruby, all these guys. What we're going to do for this is we're going to click blank. So this is going to be a tutorial on how to work with a server, and since we don't have an ability to give out a way for you guys to sign into one of our servers at the moment, we're going to use Cloud9 as the interface for that. So pick your project. I'm going to call it CodeBreak web thing. This doesn't need to be filled out. I'm going to make mine public, and we're going to go with blank because we just don't want anything on there because the focus will be on setting things up on a server. So create workspace. So yeah, we're going to be using the terminal, a few different just simple tools in there, and if you're on Mac or Linux, you should have something that's like terminal or xterm or something like that. It's what I just launched here on the side. Everything that we learn here today should hopefully be mapped onto this local terminal. So wanted to give that information while the thing was loading. Okay, Cloud9 IDE, welcome. So down here at the bottom, this thing says bash and probably then your username followed by your project name. That's the terminal we will be using. To get started with this, we're just going to immediately hit preview and preview running application, and that will pop up this thing that's like just telling us that it's like you should only do your own things for testing purposes. You shouldn't use this for production. Don't use real usernames and passwords. Just click open, and then it says no application seems to be running here. So our job will be to change that. So to start with, we're going to be using this text thing down here. You can click in it and just hit letters, backspace. ls will list files that are wherever you are in your terminal. pwd will tell you where you are. So we're going to do some Googling to figure out how to set up a web server on here. Open up a new tab and say Cloud9 running ports. So run an application Cloud9, and we'll zoom in. So available ports on the Cloud9 workspace. If you're developing a server application, please note that you need to listen on these and port 8080, and then that will make it available here. So this is just some information I'm going to note down. I think I'll just put it in the README in this little thing. I want to edit this. There we go. Paste. Oh. By default, okay. Can't see any. Zoom in, zoom out. Oh no. Oh well, I can't paste in the README. That's fine. Let's move on.
It looks like the cursor's still updating. Maybe you can try refreshing
Oh, there we go. Oh. And then let's put some new lines in here. And maybe bold this. Because that information will be important later. Okay, so to run a web server, we're going to use Nginx, which I always have trouble spelling. Yeah, N with an Nginx. Nginx. So Nginx, your connection is not secure. Nginx, you may be having a problem. Really? Well, they didn't have a security certificate for the wiki. They'll need to deal with that. So Nginx is a HTTP server, which we'll be just using to serve like a web page like this, just HTML and JavaScript kind of thing. It's really fast, and it's what if you were just sending out HTML and JavaScript with no other kind of server processing. Nginx is really fast, and the configuration is not super duper scary. So we're going to install that onto our little Cloud9 thingy. So I don't know what permissions are like on here, so we're just going to try apt install nginx. Oh, so usually if you have a thing where it says permission denied on here, that means you need to do something with sudo, which sudo is a command that makes you a more privileged user. I realized I didn't explain the command that I ran before. Apt is the thing that manages programs that you've installed. Install should be it installs stuff, and then did I spell Nginx correct? Yeah, I did spell it correct today. So let's do the same command again, but with sudo. And it looks like we already have Nginx. I'm guessing that might be what's serving that default page. So I just ls to list the files, and then cd means change directory, dot dot. So if you ever need help with any of these commands, you can always type -- help for almost, well, maybe not for cd then.
It did give you help.
It did give me help. It told me how to use it. Man cd, no manual entry. Well, if all else fails, you can always just open another tab to Google. Help, whoa, caps, help cd. Oh man, help cd command. CD furniture moves you to the directory called furniture. CD furniture chairs. Oh man, chairs under furniture. These are DOS ones. I never knew it was so hard to find stuff about CD. Oh, this web page seems pretty good. Oh, I bet explain shell would be good. Explain shell. So explainshell.com is a real cool website for when you have a terminal like program or like little text things, you can type it into explainshell.com and it will tell you about it. So CD, let's see. Well, I mean, I guess that is true. No man page. So for more complex little things, it can give you some real nice hover over, and it will explain to you what each part of it does. So now that I'm done talking about CD, I'm going to go back to, we're going to look for where Nginx is on this computer or on this VPS. So we're going to go to cd/, which is the root. Go pwd again, it means I'm at the top where everything lives. So ls to see all these things. Just from where does Nginx store its config? Google where config, that sounds good. Beginner's guide. So to start it, once it's started, quit, configuration file structure. So we're looking for configuration, divided around, but where is it, please? Setting up as a simple proxy. Error files, the errors are here. So they're in user local nginx or log nginx. But where do we put the config files?
It should be etc nginx and the license number.
It's true. I did know where, like, I assumed it'd be there in var, but I kind of wanted to see how easy it would be to find that. Oh, look, here it is. I see. See, it is good. It's good. We found it. Sometimes the official documentation isn't all that good for the simple things. So we're gonna. Oops. This is my test one. I'm gonna close that so I don't accidentally go to it again. And I'm going to paste this new information into our little README thingy. Boop, boop, boop. So let's go there. So cd /etc /n. And so you can hit tab on your keyboard to autocomplete, but and double tab and it will list your directories, or list the directories it could go into. And that's tabbing to complete things is really handy and makes life a lot easier. So let's see, now I'm in the nginx, where the nginx config file is. Oh, I see it there. So there are a few different text editors in the terminal. I feel like with Cloud9 we probably could somehow open it with this text thing up here. I could go file open. I'm going to show two text editors that are just in the terminal first. One's Nano, which is probably the most straightforward one. So Nano, and then you just type a file, and I'm gonna hope it's installed. Oh, it is. And so in this text editor, you can just use the arrow keys to move around and go up and down. And if you make a change, and you just start typing to add things. So I make a change, and to quit, you go Control X, hold Control, type X, and it'll be like, oh, do you want to save? And you'll probably want to be like, yes. And then to quit, is it Control Q? Uh-oh, I quit Firefox. Uh-oh. Doing it live. So it's apparently it's not that keyboard shortcut. Cloud9. Well, let's see how fast we can get back to it. Open. Cloud9, pretty cool. Oh man, it's leaving us off right where we were, possibly. Oh wow, look at that. That's real cool. So maybe Control X again. Yes. Oh, okay. File to write, and you hit Enter. I see. And then Control X again. Oh, I saw it said permission denied. We didn't open this file with enough permissions. Generally, the thing to do with that is just sudo whatever you did before. So I'm going to just do it without sudo, just to show one little thing. So we opened it without sudo, so we won't be able to save it. So now when I quit, I'm going to be, no, I don't want to save. And you can go sudo bang bang. So 2 exclamation marks say to just run the command you ran before, but with whatever in front and whatever after. So this will run nano nginx.conf with sudo, and now we should be able to edit anything, or edit it and save it without it complaining. Yes, save. Oh, and it's saved. So I just added a comment to it. Another editor that is the editor I use primarily for doing pretty much everything with the terminal is Vim, which is a little bit more involved. Just so you know how to quit, if you jump into something with Vim and you want to quit, you type colon, and then a colon should show up on the screen. Then you hit Q, and then you hit exclamation mark. A lot of Macs and a lot of Linux distributions by default come with something called Vim Tutor. I'm not sure if it's on here. Oh, it is on here. That's amazing. Vim Tutor will teach you how to use Vim if you're ever interested with that. I highly recommend going through here if you want to play with the terminal using a text editor a lot. I think, though, if we can, I'm going to open it up here. Is that possible? Open. Doesn't. It looks like I can only open things in this workspace, so I guess we'll be using the terminal. So I'm going to make it full screen. So you might want to use Nano for what I'm about to do if you're following along, if you don't know Vim, because Vim has a lot of weird controls and things. So I think I'll use Nano as well. So let's take a look at what this config file is looking like. It might be custom for what do you call it? Cloud9 is using it for. So let's see, there's HTTP, basic settings, login settings. A lot of these are commented out. The hashes at the beginning should comment them out. Oh, and then include nginx conf/star.conf. And then there's some mail stuff at the bottom. It doesn't look like user www data worker process 4. I don't know what a lot of these things mean. Can I SSH from this terminal?
Yeah.
I'm gonna SSH to my own website and look at the config that's there. So oh no. Oh, I'm not using the right user. SSH is a way to connect to a remote computer through the terminal. This is if you have a computer somewhere else and you want to control it through a terminal, you would set up a SSH server on there, and you'd use the SSH client on your other computer and connect to it this way. And if you get a virtual private server on DigitalOcean or other providers of those computers, you typically connect to them with SSH. And so my user is Adam Ryman, and it's at adamryman.com, which is where I have adamryman.com pointing to the server I want to connect to. Now, hopefully I can actually connect to it. Uh-oh. There we are. It's taking a while. Oh, gopher. So. Oh, and now I have like all of my configs and stuff here. So let's go to the same place where the nginx config lived. It was etc. Then was it nginx? Oh, and I see it. Oh, that looks weird. Let's go nano. Okay. Oh no. If you use Vim a lot, you'll type a lot of J's on accident. So let's take a look in my configuration. It seems to be having screen drawing problems real badly. So exit. Uh-oh. Exit, please. Let's see if Vim does any better. Or I might just cat it. The mail thing is at the bottom of this one still. This doesn't look like my configuration. I'm wondering, is there a different place?
There's also sites enabled. Something like sites enabled.
Yeah, sites available. Is this where you actually put the configs thing? It looks like this is where the single configs are. Let's look at that place in our own nginx thing. So sites available. So cd sites available. Default. You may add your server statements for your virtual host to this file. You should look at the URLs. Okay. So default server. Process denied. Location. First attempt to serve a file. This looks more like what we want. So index. Root to user share nginx HTML. So if we go back to R1, I'm gonna less. So less is a program that allows you to open a file and kind of scroll through it just with the terminal. So I can hit J I can hit up and down, arrow keys to go up and down in this file, and I'm just looking at it. So I want to look at the one I have on my server just because it's a simple, or it should be a simple configuration. So for me on here, I have listen on 80 default server for both IPv or IPv4 and 6. This one's the 6 one. SSL stuff, which I don't have set up, which is for HTTPS. This is where the web files go, root. It's going to try to use index.html before other files. Server name is adamryman.com. Location slash, when you go to slash, you just try for files first. I have a thing that if I do blog, it goes somewhere else. So, for R1, it seems like we already had Nginx installed. If we didn't, we would call that apt-get. But so, it seems like it might just be all ready to go if we put files into this place it's talking about. But we could change this place to just be our local directory and put files in it. So let's open another terminal and go ls in lowercase. So pwd, so that's our directory. So let's see if we can make another directory, which is mkdir web. So make dir. I wonder if this one has a proper help. Oh, this one has a help that you could read about it. So make dir web. And if I do ls again, you see there's a web directory, and also in this little GUI interface, another directory showed up. So go into here, web, and we're going to change our Nginx configuration so that the root points there, and just see if that works out. So backspace this all, and it was /home/ubuntu/ what was the next part? So back workspace /web, and now we're going to save. So it was Control X, yes, default. So there's that default now, and now we have to enable that. We need to go sudo service nginx, right? Restart. Oh, okay, it says done. So you run that whenever you update configurations so that Nginx can reload them. So I think now if I make an index.html file in the web directory, so I'm going to go new file, index.html. Let's open that, and we can go just type in here, hello world, and save. And I wonder if I go preview. Oh, so you can preview the file directly or just preview live application? No application running. Okay.
Is it on port 88?
It may not be. We might want to copy default to another file. Possibly. I don't know though. Sudo nano. Oh, no, this is the 80 one. I'm wondering if I'll break everything if I do this. We'll find out, I guess. Yeah, let's see if what that does. So I updated the 80 to 8080, which is, we learned that we wanted to have things running on 8080. So we'll see how that does. So, oops. Sudo service, having some lag, Nginx restart, and it restarted, preview, look at that, amazing, incredible, wow, I'm actually I'm pretty happy about that. Let's do this. Is blink still supported as a tag? Find out. Preview live running application. Nope, it doesn't blink. That's okay. We'll make something bold or something. Let's write some HTML real quick. Header. There's like body and go like bold. This was made using C9 and Nginx div fancy, huh? Save. Preview live running application. Why are there no stylings at all? I thought. Whoopsie, I refreshed. I don't know how this. I thought bold was an HTML tag I could use.
Strong.
Oh, it's strong. Right.
Are you using Chrome or Firefox?
Firefox.
Oh.
Oh.
Firefox. So Firefox still supports key, I think.
Whole future web stuff. Oh, look at that strong. Look at that. Looks good. So I wasn't sure how long that this would take to actually get going. The primary thing of this was to just kind of get a little bit of experience looking the terminal. We didn't actually. Nginx was already installed. We were able to edit a configuration file using text editors in the terminal, and we changed where the Nginx thing was pointing, what directory it was pointing to for the website, and we put a file in there and then put something on it. So Tyler, are there questions or anything?
Yeah, I forgot to set up a mic for myself, so talk loudly. We do have one comment that you can add JavaScript if you want to support the blink tag. There's a JavaScript library that supports all the old ones. Also, question: what do you think is a good next step for someone who's interested in learning more about this kind of stuff?
Well, so it seems that like before today, I would have said to for sure purchase to try to get a virtual private server. From DigitalOcean, you can get your own one for $5 a month. There are ways with your friends you probably could share one or something like that. But Cloud9 actually now seems like a pretty good way to have a lot of the experience of using a terminal. I don't know the full extent of what you can and cannot do here, and I know it does cost money though. Through student R&D, we have some kind of free account set up. So what would be good things to do, good like little projects and things? I would say like using, if you can do a VPS and set up your own web server, just like actually install Nginx and do that to have it serve some files. Then having it so you could have your websites where it's like you go to adamryman.com, and this is just serving a file. When I do this, it just serves this like web page. But when I go to /blog, it actually goes to a different program that's serving. So learning how to have it so that you can have different paths or different routes that lead to different applications using Nginx, you can really make your domain do a lot of things. Let's see, I would install to learn more about these kinds of things too, like learning more about Linux terminal kind of things. I would say install Linux if you don't have a VPS or somewhere. With your own laptop, you can install Linux, and then you can have a real terminal, and then you learn things from there. I would recommend looking for people's configurations for things on GitHub. I don't know if Code Academy has any terminal tutorials. Code Academy, so bold. What do they got on here? What are their lessons? Do we know how to list their lessons? Oh, there it is. Make a website, deploy a website. I wonder if deploy a website. Oh, learn the command line. Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah, okay, so I really like Code Academy. I've tried out a few of their lessons myself, and I recommend it to anyone who wants to just get into coding at their own pace and don't really know what they're don't like hmm it's good for like pretty much all levels of like if you need to refresh yourself on something, if you want to learn like Git or how to make a website, and it's at your own pace. So they do have a learn the command line section, and then I would recommend being on the SR&D Slack and being on help desk when you run into issues. If you want to learn more about Bash, which is the shell that the terminal is using, you're going to have to Google for those definitions. But if you want to learn more about Bash, there's the Google Shell Style Guide. Google Shell Style. The Google Shell Style Guide. This is for writing scripts using the terminal, and I recommend this to people whenever they get confused for those things. And then there's also the Bash Hackers Wiki, which has a getting started thing, I believe. Scripting with rough overview, maybe. Yeah, there's the Bash Hackers Wiki can have a lot of useful stuff in it, but it's a lot of stuff. And I just kind of rattled off a few different options. Some of them better than others, but I hope that was satisfactory. Yeah.
Cool. Another question: what's a good way to get started with Linux? You mentioned installing Linux. Like, what do you recommend for that?
I haven't looked at the space for doing that recently. I know that for Windows, there's like Ubuntu in Windows, Bash on Ubuntu on Windows. Tyler, is this going well now? Or
yeah, it works pretty well. There are a few problems, but for the most part, it works.
So this using Bash on Ubuntu on Windows, if you are on Windows right now, might be a good stepping stone, so you don't have to dual boot. But learning, if you have your own like physical laptop or physical computer, and you're willing to like basically erase everything on your computer, if that's a possibility, learning to dual boot dual boot Windows and Linux. Dual booting means that when you start your computer, you can either start and go to Windows or go to Linux. This will be the Linux will be the fastest in this case, and it will be the most true to how you would use it. And then you can also dual boot Linux and Mac as well, though there can be more steps. Smaller stepping stone is using a VirtualBox. So you can install VirtualBox, and then you can download like the OS I would recommend is the one I would use, so Ubuntu. So download a copy of Ubuntu, download, and then so you can get Ubuntu here, and then you get VirtualBox, which is for all operating systems, Windows, Mac, Linux, and then you can run Linux inside of Windows or inside of Mac and have basically the full experience there, though everything will be a bit slower. That one's probably, if you want just on your computer, yeah, VirtualBox with Linux is safest. I think ordering, if you have Windows, Bash on Ubuntu on Windows is first because it'll be faster. Then if you don't want to do that one, VirtualBox with Ubuntu or Xubuntu or something else. And then dual booting if you want them to be really fast, which is what I've done because I use Linux for my full work and home stuff. Yeah.
What are the career options for people who are interested in this? Is it just programmers, or are there other things?
There's system administration, which is kind of related to programming. So if you're wanting to if you have like a company that has a whole lot of computers, yes, there are people writing code to write like programs that people use, write websites or write back-end applications, though there are also people that just have to manage all of the computers. If if like you have a company with 10 people but they have a few hundred computers, likely one or two of the people are managing the computers themselves and bringing them up or down. So system administration, though this like subject can help in a lot of other fields in general. It's if you have familiar with computers, a lot of things in our society are currently running on computers. So having a little bit of idea of how it all kind of fits together can give you an edge for just like understanding why things go wrong. So I'm not sure, like other code. Terminal kind of usage is like a more programmer kind of way, but it is, if you like being a power user of things, then the terminal is the way to go, because you can do basically anything in a terminal, and it is very flexible, you can connect things together straightforward, connect things together. I don't know about outside of coders or system administrators for the terminal specifically. I would definitely recommend everyone to learn to program, though I wouldn't necessarily tell everyone to invest the time to learn everything about the terminal. Basic commands, though, can get you out of bad places. And if you search on Google and you find a problem and it tells you to use the terminal to do something, that can scare away a lot of people. But if you have that skill, then you could, if you're in doing some other kind of job, office job, and people are using computers, you could be the person that helps with those, and that could be good. Yeah, options. I'm glad this is recorded, because I'm going to write down those lists afterwards, what I rattled off. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you everyone that showed up. I hope this was informative, and I'm on Slack. If you @message me at Adam Ryman, or you direct message me, then I will try to be responsive in the next couple of days at least, but you can always just message me as well. I have those forwarding to my phone even, so yeah. And you have questions about terminal, or want to learn more, or want to do something, I don't know. So yeah, I guess wrap it up.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.